Like, people are forgetting when she moved into Swizz and them's house to work on the music with him, he was still married to his wife, living in that same house. And then she moved in while she was cool with the wife. And it's still her husband to cover up the fact that she's a dyke and she had just got caught beating that girlfriend of hers up down there in Aruba somewhere or something like that.
What if a single grainy clip, so brief you could blink and miss it, held the power to blast open 2 celebrity marriages, yank the masks off a decade of secret rendezvous, and prove that karma keeps immaculate receipts? The moment word leaked that footage allegedly shows Swizz Beatz and La Anthony getting far too cozy behind Alicia Keys' back, timelines ignited like dry tinder. Fans, haters, and armchair detectives all hammered replay, hungry for confirmation of whispers that have shadowed these 3 for years. And in the middle of this digital firestorm stands Alicia, hailed for her Zen Queen smile, yet rumored to be smashing glassware once the studio lights dim. So how did a man famous for laying down platinum beats end up sprawled on the wrong kind of track? And why does every twist feel like a scene ripped straight from the album Alicia always swore was written in truth? Buckle in, because the tape is merely the fuse. The real explosion started long ago and the debris is still falling. Swizz never met a beat or a boundary he couldn't bend. Long before anyone pressed play on the leaked clip, insiders cataloged a pattern. Overlapping romances, overlapping pregnancies, overlapping promises. Rewind to the early 2000s when Nicole Livy quietly welcomed a son while Mashonda, Swizz's then partner, prepared a nursery of her own. 2 cribs, 1 father, countless questions left hanging in studio air thick with new baby balloons and hushed arguments. Fast forward to London 2008, Jonna Sebastian steps forward with a daughter conceived while Swizz juggled late-night sessions with Alicia. The timeline, messy enough to require its own BPM counter. To outsiders, these stories read like separate scandals. To Swizz's inner circle, they play like remastered versions of the same track. Familiar hook, different verse, louder backlash each time. But Swizz alone doesn't carry the chorus. Lala Anthony spent years fielding text alerts about Carmelo's extracurricular escapades, rumored outside kids, alleged yacht day rendezvous, hush-hush, hotel bills. Publicly she smiled, privately she simmered, and eventually she filed. Friends swear her revenge was never meant to turn permanent. It was a spark in a powder keg of hurt feelings. Yet sometime between Melo's final apology bouquet and the ink drying on divorce papers, Lala's late-night calls with Swizz shifted from mutual venting to something warmer, riskier, undeniably electric. Sources trace that pivot back to 2021, the year radio host Miss Jones hopped on air claiming a member of Swizz's own crew confessed they're madly in love, but he's not leaving his wife. Swizz fired back on Instagram with a screenshot of Alicia's song Lala and the caption, "This the only Layla I'm rockin'." The comment looked clever until the alleged tape surfaced and turned irony into indictment. Meanwhile, Alicia figured she'd already survived the worst storm love could hurl. In 2009, Mashonda's open letter hit the web like a megaton truth bomb. She wrote that Alicia helped create the very problems tearing her family apart. Dates, diary-like details, and a single plea: step back. Alicia's response? Retreat into studio silence, then resurface with polished interviews about being misunderstood. She insisted Swizz was already separated, that their connection bloomed only after the paperwork was in motion. But the math never quite matched the melody, and fans kept humming the refrain, "Lose 'em, how you get 'em." In the years that followed, Alicia didn't just embrace her new blended family, some say she tried to redraw it entirely. Reports claim she nudged Swizz to pursue full custody of his and Mashonda's young son, painting the request as a fresh start, while Mashonda read it as erasure. Public relations can paper over almost anything if you layer on enough feel-good gloss. By 2018, the trio appeared on daytime TV couches, preaching co-parenting harmony, group vacations, and Sunday brunches where the kids called everyone family. Viewers applauded, yet Mashonda's eyes seemed heavy with a history only she and the studio lights understood. Backstage, Alicia's team choreographed every angle, soft filters, matching neutral tones, a chorus of positive vibes only. Still, Twitter threads dissected each smile for tension, every pause for subtext. The rebrand looked flawless until August 2025 cracked the veneer. According to multiple blogs, Alicia stumbled upon what insiders label undeniable proof. A phone recording captured behind closed studio doors, audio spliced with shaky visuals, no plausible work-related excuse in sight. The timeline? Allegedly stretches back 3 years, placing Lala's fling firmly within the window when Alicia posed for anniversary selfies and preached loyalty in interviews. The fallout? Sources describe shouting matches that rattled the Swizz Beatz estate, vows to never be humiliated again, and frantic calls to lawyers fluent in both prenups and copyright law, because in Hollywood, a marriage license can feel less airtight than an NDA. Fans watching from digital bleachers erupted into two camps. Team Alicia argues she earned sympathy after enduring Swizz's past. Every tear now is interest on an old debt. Team Mashunda fires back, karma doesn't issue refunds. Memes circulate of a boomerang stamped with the date Mashunda published her letter, looping back to strike Alicia in 2025. Even spiritual quotes, accounts usually reserved for sunrise yoga, get spicy. Energy you send returns multiplied. Comments explode with clapping hands, emojis, and side-eye gifs. Yet amid the online roar, a quieter question pulses. What if the tape never reaches public eyes? Attorneys whisper that illegally recorded material rarely holds up in court, especially if consent laws are fickle across state lines. Still, the existence of footage, even whispered, can crater sponsorships faster than any judge. Brand managers watch hashtags climb, calculating risk in real time. A jewelry company allegedly pauses an Alicia collab. A sneaker brand rumored to be negotiating with Lala hits hold. Even Swizz's production deals feel a tremor. Labels like drama that sells records, but not drama that drags executives into deposition chairs. For the children orbiting this saga, Kasim Jr., Egypt Daoud, Genesis Ali, and Melo Alala's son Kian, the storyline plays out far from Twitter. Insiders say Alicia vacillates between shielding them and venting rage in hushed phone calls. Swizz, ever the master curator of moods, reportedly pivots from pleading innocence to proposing family therapy sessions, queuing up playlists of their happiest collabs. Yet trust, once warped, rarely snaps back straight. Friends claim Alicia now sleeps with her phone face down, notifications silenced, a habit learned from the same secrecy that first bound her to Swizz. All the while, Lala moves like someone accustomed to flashbulbs and firefights. Paparazzi catch her exiting a Pilates studio, ponytail high, phone glued to ear. When a reporter shouts, "Are you breaking up a marriage?" she smiles so faintly, it looks like a glitch in real life's rendering. Friends describe her as unbothered externally, spiraling internally, aware that every hour the tape trends, casting directors might reconsider her next arc. Yet she's also no stranger to reboots. Hollywood adores a Phoenix narrative. And what of Swizz? Close allies say he's busy assembling a legal PR hybrid squad, part crisis communication, part protective detail. He still insists no line was crossed, at least not physically, looping back to that age-old dodge, intent versus action. Those who know him best shrug. Intent, they say, has always been Swizz's favorite playground. Whether he lands on an apology tour or a defiant anthem may depend on how quickly the next viral scandal distracts the crowd. Through it all, Alicia faces a crossroads familiar to many high-profile women, but magnified by algorithms that never sleep. Does she file and reclaim narrative control, risking tabloids combing through every text she ever sent? Or does she stage a second redemption arc, preaching forgiveness the way she once preached blended peace? Both roads feel steep, yet both feed the same insatiable audience tracking her every move. And let's not forget Mashunda, who once stitched herself back together after Swizz tore out the seam. Friends say she watches the current chaos with mixed emotions. Empathy for Alicia's hurt, but also a quiet recognition of cosmic balance. Privately, she reminds confidants that real closure never depends on another person's downfall. It blooms in the spaces you patch for yourself. Publicly, she stays silent, proof that sometimes the loudest statement is no statement at all. The final wildcard. Whether the rumored footage ever leaks in full. If it does, lawyers might scramble, but the court of public opinion will render instant verdicts, gifts at the ready. If it doesn't, the legend could morph into myth, living on in Reddit threads and late-night radio callers swearing they saw a 3-second clip before it vanished. Either way, the story sticks, because Hollywood loves a sequel, especially when it writes itself. when the smoke clears and the algorithm shifts to fresh gossip. A stubborn truth will linger. Every secret eventually streams somewhere. It might be an iCloud hack, a passing DM, or a shaky cell phone file fluttering across group chats. But the digital age is a hall of mirrors with no backstage. Swizz once built beats that felt bulletproof. Alicia helped craft anthems about unbreakable souls. Lala learned camera angles that flatter even the hardest day. Yet all three now face the same spotlight, hotter than any stage rig, powered by millions of viewers who can pause, rewind, dissect, and never forget. So the bigger question isn't whether this scandal ends a marriage, it's whether any love story forged in the glare of fame can stay unscripted once the credits roll. Viewers, place your bets in the comments and subscribe because the next leak could drop before you finish typing. Thanks for watching.